Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Anything Liverpool post game against stream against tomorrow's game against United. Uh, Welcome to our stream. Hopefully, you will give us a like and follow. And always, please remember to check our other accounts like on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and on the website. I want to say hello to my partners in crime today, Craig and Toby. How are you guys doing?
I'm good, mate. Good evening, Toby. Nice to meet you.
Good evening, Craig. Good evening, Errol. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I probably mispronounced that. Sheesh. Well, I'm about.
You have to get in line, Toby. You have
I
to get in
go
line.
just to
I'll just
cheer
call
you
you
up.
A. How about that?
Yeah,
Go penalty, by the way.
yeah, no
No
penalty.
pen.
That's good.
That's
Oh, thank
good.
God.
Uh, I was a summer vacation in Scotland once, Toby, and they just called me Harry. No one could say my name, so just Harry.
Okay, I'll stick with Harry.
All right. Anyway, tonight we're going to build up a little bit to tomorrow's big game because it is a big game, not only because it's against the rivals, but because it's an important game. For me, I think it's a very more important game for the season because of uh, this is a game that for me is a statement game. It can kind of not make or break the season, but this is now starting to get important. So for me, this is coming on the back of three losses in a row. So I'm going to start with you, Toby. We've had three games in a row on a loss. We are back from an international break, which usually isn't a big thing, a big highlight for us when coming back. How do you think about the game? Do you think it's an important game or it's just 3 points?
Yeah. So, man, I gotta say, I love rivalry week. Right? It's ironic because, like I mentioned many times on the stream, I'm from the states, and today is college football, right? And it's rivalry week for college football. So it's just ironic for me that Liverpool are playing against Manchester United. So, boy, I love a good rivalry or a good derby. As far as like this being an important game, I think every game against Manchester United, any game, any derby game is important because they're your rivals. They know you kind of like the back of your hand, right? And so for us, like it's 3 points, absolutely, but it's against United. It's against Manchester United. We want to beat them. Like I remember saying this last year. There's a difference between wanting to win this game and I want to win this game. I take the latter, of course, but for me, this isn't just a game to get us back on track. This is a derby game. You want to beat your rival, and what better way to get back on track, get 3 points, get back on top of the league. Hopefully, Arsenal loses this game. If worst case scenario, just get a draw. But what a better way to start off like the yeah, what better way to get back on track than getting a win tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly. I also think that this is the game that would be a big thing if we can get back on track now, and it's no better game to get back on track from. Uh, Brother Craig, do you agree with this? Do you think this is an important game besides the 3 points? Do you think maybe we should you know we have to put a statement out, or do you just think let's get through this game, get 3 points, and build on from that?
No, I think tomorrow is absolutely crucial. Um, it's the biggest game. It's our biggest game of the season. It's the biggest game of the season. They're the two biggest clubs in English football. It's the biggest game in English football. It's the second biggest game in British football. There's only one game bigger than this, and that's Celtic versus Rangers. Because nothing compares. You're talking about rivalry, that is brutal. Um, this is the biggest game in English football. It always has been. Um, and I think Liverpool, but the international breaks come at a great time for us. I think, and this is the reset for us. But I think we need to basically go out there tomorrow and put a statement down that we're champions for a reason. Yeah, we've had a little bit of a blip, but we're back. And we've got to go out there and mean business from the first whistle to the last. Um, And I think that the spectators tomorrow, the fans, they've got to play their part. Anfield can't be quiet tomorrow. It's got to be, basically, it's got to be like Galatasaray is and Besiktas. It's got to be absolutely deafening, so, and there's no reason why it can't be. But my only concern is he's not going to, Amri's not going to change his formation, and we have a problem with 3 at the back. But Ernie Slot came out fighting at his press conference, which I was pleased about. I think he's had enough now. Obviously, we'll speak later on about formations and that, but I think tomorrow, let's get the 3 points. Let's keep a clean sheet. It's important for me as well, because we're conceding from corners too many, and he's addressed that as well. So we need to tighten up at the back, tighten up in midfield, and the front 3 we've got are frightening. So United don't worry me at all, and let's just pour more misery on them. I can't wait for it. I really can't.
Well, I don't share your calmness, Craig. I'm a bit concerned about this game, because it is, as we said, it's a kind of a make or break game for us, but it also for them. I mean, if they should find a way to win this game, they would be 2 points behind us in a very close title race as it is. I'm not saying they're going to chance for the title, but it could give them a major boost for the rest of the season. But Toby, what do you think is key? What do you think is what we need to focus on to beat them? What are their weaknesses, and what do you have to be aware of when they come to their attacking us?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, it's been a while since I last watched United play. I want to say the last time I watched them was a match day 1 against Arsenal, and I be honest with you, I thought United looked like the better team in that game. I also noticed that they lacked something up front. Buma was the main attacking threat, and he's the guy I'm worried about. When I even think I know he's the guy I'm worried about in this game, because he's their most threatening player. But outside of Mbumo, there was not much on the attack for them in that game. I know Sesko, he's scored 2 goals, but I mean, I think Cunha, whatever. But Mbumo is the guy that I'm worried about, and it's unfortunate that he does play for United, but it is what it is. On the bright side, though, this is a Man United team that's being coached by Ruben Amorim, so I'd say that's definitely their weakness. Since joining the club, he has not looked very good, or the team hasn't looked very good. Very incohesive. But once again, I always stress the fact that this is Man United. This is a rivalry game, a derby game. Anything can happen. So we'll see what happens in this game for sure. But yeah,
Because we've had many years where we've been the underdog, Craig. We've been the poorer team of these 2 teams, but we usually kind of, at least home, managed to put in an effort and get some decent results.
Yeah.
What do you think are the way to beat them tomorrow, and what do you think is the reason, or the things that we have to look out for?
I think, well, obviously, I mean, the man in charge is the most stubborn manager I've seen in the Premier League. I've never seen anybody stubborn as Ruben Amorim.
Ange?
At the back, they're just so vulnerable. It beggars belief. They've got a new goalkeeper who's untried and untested. I mean, all right, he played well last weekend against Sunderland and he put a good performance in, but that was at home at Old Trafford. Now he's coming to Anfield for the first time in front of the Kop. So let's see how he handles that. The weaknesses for Man United, as well as the back 3, is their midfield, because I can't wait to see Mason Mount trip over himself again, like he does on a regular basis. Casemiro shouldn't be playing football now. The only decent player they've got, and he's going to find it difficult tomorrow, because he lost one of international teammates. Bruno Fernandes, I feel for him tomorrow because he's coming to Jota's home. So he's going to find that hard tomorrow. It's going to be emotional for him. And I hope the Liverpool fans understand that, and give him a bit of respect. Front three, there's only Mbumo really. Cunha's all right, but he's not set the world alight. And now there's Sesko. He looks like he's out of his depth for me at the minute. So I think the game's going to be won in midfield for me. And and what I want Arne Slot to do is to go back to what works and go back to his original three in midfield. So obviously, when you ask me for my starting 11, it's going to be controversial.
Yeah, we'll get to that soon.
So, but yeah, I don't want to do it. I've redone it from last night. I don't want to do it, but I've had a good think about tomorrow's game, and I think we should go back to what's tried and tested to get back on an even keel and get back to winning ways. Because if you win that tomorrow, if that's not a shot in the arm and a confidence boost, then what is beating them?
I agree.
I'm not worried about it at all because they've not won at Anfield for a decade, and they've not.
Don't jinx it now.
No, hang on, I'm just keeping figures right. They've not won at Anfield for over a decade. They've not won away in the Premier League for the last 10 games, and we're only 7 games in. Right, so you've got to take the last 3 games of last season plus the first 7 of this season, and they've not won 2 back to back.
Well, yeah, but you're jinxing it, Craig. You're jinxing it.
No, I'm not. Stop being negative. And if you want to score update, the score update overall now is Liverpool 28, Manchester United 8. So they've been getting the cane in, and they're going to get them tomorrow.
But I have to agree with you on one thing, Craig, and that is I believe the game, as many of the other games have been decided, is in the midfield. And that is a place where we have been lacking, to be honest, so far this season. So, but I think that will maybe come a little bit more together tomorrow. And that leads us to the next question, Toby. What's your predicted 11?
Yeah, so I don't think the back four is going to change. Well, it'll be interesting to see who Slot puts at right back with Soboslai, Bradley, or Frimpong. But I do that one. I'm not really set in stone on. I wouldn't be surprised if Soboslai gets a start because I think over the season so far this season he's proven he's a must start. But I'm a little confused on that one at the moment. But I think we'll definitely see Van Dijk, Konate, and then Kirkes. And then in the midfield, Wirtz, Gravenberch, and McAllister. That's if Soboslai. Well, McAllister is healthy, right? I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I imagine McAllister should be getting the start, and then the front three we'll see obviously Mohamed Salah, Isak. I think Isak in this game will play majority of the game. He played 90 minutes throughout the international break, so that's good for him, and hopefully that he plays well in this game. And then I think on the left wing we'll see Cody Gakpo. I think last stream or 2 streams ago we were talking about him struggling, but I think Gakpo will definitely get the start. I think that I think he'll definitely get the start in this game.
It usually scores against United as well, so it's a good fair point. Craig, how about you? You said it was controversial, but I'm excited now.
It is. Obviously, the only one change which is not enforced to make is in between the posts, Mamardashvili, because Alisson Becker's out for the next 2 games, tomorrow and the next one, Brentford. My back 4, I'm going to go with Kirkes at left back because Andy Robertson fell asleep against Chelsea. We should not have conceded that late goal against Chelsea last time out. Back foot, 2 centre halves, the Rolls Royce as well, Virgil, and then unfortunately we've got to put Konate in. I don't want to play him because his head's elsewhere. But I've watched the training. I've watched the training today, and he's looking all right. He's okay. The one guy who did impress me from what I watched, he was on fire, was Mr. Chiesa. He looked absolutely red hot. My midfield, this is the controversial bit. My midfield three tomorrow against United, and this is where I think the game will be won and lost. So I'm going to go Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. I'm having Florian Wirtz on the bench. He's not starting tomorrow. I just think the game's too big. And if there's a game where you don't want him to have a stinker, and the thing is, I've also not mentioned, and right back, Conor Bradley, because there's one guy who's actually stinking the gaff out at the minute, and his name's quite apt, and that's Frimpong. He's ponging the place out. So he's not playing tomorrow either. So after Wirtz on the left, I'm going different to what Toby's just said. I'm putting Etitike on the left tomorrow. I'm having Isak up front and Salah on the right. I'm going with them three because they'll terrorise Man United. And Salah's scored 16 goals against Man United in 17 games. So don't be surprised if he scores tomorrow. And I can see Isak opening his account as well. But I think Wirtz is going to be on the bench. Unfortunately, I didn't want to change my mind, but I have done. He's coming in for too much stick, and I'm not happy about that. I was defending him last night, but it'll come. But I just want Arnie Slot to go with his original three, what won us the league last year, and basically because that's the best midfield three we've got. And I think if he goes with them three, we're home and hosed. And then bring on Wirtz the last half an hour to go, and bring on.
All right. It kind of looks like I'm in the middle of both of you guys on this one, because I mean, well, I mean, Kirkis is. I agree on Kirkis, Van Dijk, and Konate. That's for me a given. But for some reason, I want Frimpong. I want his bunny rabbit energy running up and down. I mean, I think he would fit the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it is tight between Bradley and Frimpong, but I don't think Bradley's been that all outstanding either. So I just kind of went for Frimpong this time. When it comes to midfield, I agree again with Craig on Ekitike on the left. I do agree with that. I do not agree because I want Florian Wirtz together in tomorrow. So my midfield is Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Wirtz. I think McAllister will start on the bench due to his long journey, even though it was better now than the last time. He's not been great either. So for me, that I have this stupid hope in my head that this is the game where all the new guys will click.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be on the pitch. Yeah. So the midfield is, as I said, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Wirtz, and the three on up front are Salah, Ekitike, and Isak.
Okay, so I've got 2 points. I want to come back at you with them.
Oh, I don't want to hear them.
Oh no, right. So the first one is McAllister, right?
Yeah.
He's on the bench because of the flight. Now, if Alisson Becker was fit and he'd been away from Brazil, he'd be starting tomorrow. Now he's South American, so come back on private jets. So you'll have been well rested.
But that's different.
I've watched him in training today, and McAllister looks fine.
Yeah, that's nice. Good for you.
He will be starting tomorrow, and then the other one I'll come back at have is now you've got Frimpong playing at right back.
Yeah.
Right? Now the guy's a locomotive, as they say in America, right? He's a locomotive. He's basically he's like the Dodge out of Dukes of Hazzard. He's rapid. But the problem we've got is if he's bombing down the right flank, Salah's not tracking back and covering because Salah
into Szoboszlai. He
As much
just
as much as we love him, Salah is lazy. He does what Salah wants to do, not what he should do. Isak's the same. He doesn't track back either. So that's why I wouldn't have Frimpong in at right back. I'd have Conor Bradley. But, this is the nice thing about debate and discussion. We've all got different opinions and ethoses in it, and it makes it wonderful. But I'm glad you agree with Etatike over Gakpo.
even though Gakpo usually scores.
Yeah, but because I just think Etatike and Isak, if you're picking one up, who's going to mark the other? They're just going to. I mean, come on. And then you've got Federico Chiesa to come off the bench.
And that's a reason why I'm picking this, is because we will get back to that later on in the stream as well. But Toby, you had Bradley on right back, didn't you? Or
I
did you
think
have
I'm still up
Toby?
in the air with right back. I think I'm still up in the air with right back because there's so many options that Slot could go with. I'm leaning towards Sobosai because Sobosai to me has proven that he's a must start in every game, and I think he's been pretty good at right back. So I'm gonna say lean Sobosai, game time decision.
all right. We're moving on. We're going to predictions now, and well, that's not my favorite topic because I don't do usually well on score predictions. But another word
Don't
from
worry,
you
I'm
there,
the same.
Craig. Yeah. So we are, for those who may not know, we are a guy short today due to something that just came up before the stream. So we are just the three of us today. But so again, I'll start with you, Toby. What's your score prediction? Who will score? And yeah, we'll start with that.
So much like you, Harry, I hate doing predictions because I'm a perfectionist and I like to be right all the time. Plus, it's hard to determine this type of stuff. But if I need to, then I shall. I'm gonna go with 3-1 of Liverpool. I think Isak will at least have a goal in this game. The fact that he's been able to get minutes throughout the international break is really helpful. I'm very excited to see what he does in this game against Manchester United. Plus, he is Premier League proven, so he has scored against them, or he has played against Man United, excuse me. So I will have Isak scoring a goal. If Ekatike does get the start or even play in this game, it'll be very interesting to see what he does. I'm very curious because I've liked what I've seen from Ekatike so far this season, especially at the striker position. If he does play left wing, that would be very interesting. So I'll go Ekatike as well, and then I'm just gonna go Mo Salah, just because he knows how to play against Man United. He's done it before, and he scored against them. So what is it? What is the Derby game without Mohamed Salah scoring against United?
All right. Well, Craig, since you are the one with no hesitations of coming on score predictions, what are your score predictions and who will score? But I gotta ask Toby, who will score for United?
Sheesh, I'm gonna go with Mbumo just because, to me, he's the most threatening player on their team. So
All right. Okay, Craig, what's your score predictions and who will win us the game?
Simple. My prediction tomorrow is 2-0.
All right.
2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I've just got a feeling that the back four are gonna basically do what they should have been doing probably 2 games ago. I don't really see Man United being a serious threat up front. My 2 goal scorers, Alexander Isak and Mo Salah. I just think with the flack that Salah's been taking, that he's dropped off and he's finished and everything else you've heard. I just think this is the game where he basically, Mo Salah does what Mo Salah does and shuts everybody up. And Alexander Isak, he's a big game player. He's one of the best strikers in the world. What better game to announce yourself to a Liverpool Football Club than score against your biggest rival? And I think he will do. I'd like us to win 3-0 and Etatike get one as well, but I'm not going to be greedy. I'll take the 2-0 and 3 points. That that'll do me. I just think if they do get one, which I don't think they will, it'll be from a set piece or a corner. But I'm quite confident that they've been working on that and they'll get it sorted and they'll sort it out sooner or later. You don't become a bad team overnight. You know,
Yeah.
and with what we
No. Do I have to give one?
if you don't want to, you can sit on the fence.
I I predict we win the game. I do think we win the game, and in my stupid fantasy that all the new guys will click and everything. So I would like to see if my predictions are right that Ketike, Isak, and Salah start. I want them all three to have one goal. But I do think either way, I think Isak is the one that is more or less the biggest chance for me to, uh, to score tomorrow. I'm just gonna have one short question, and that is, I'll start with you now, Craig.
Okay.
I said short, but we'll see.
Ah,
If if you have to choose, what kind of win would you like tomorrow? Would you like another 7-0 game, or would you like and a poor performance that leaves a lot of questions, or would you like a 1-0 game where we do give a solid performance? We show massive improvements, but just need a little finish touches. What would you prefer?
well, the 7-0 was a freak result. We'll never see that again.
No.
That's in folklore. We've done 4-0, 5-0, 3-0, 7-0. All I want tomorrow is a 2-0, but a solid performance from front to back. To use the old adage, and I've watched it this morning, and it's a brilliant watch. Another fan channel. They've done a Paul Dalglish, Kenny's son. They've done a podcast called The Pressing Game, and the two guests on the podcast. You go on YouTube and watch it. The two guests on the podcast was obviously Paul Dalglish and Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush, and it was brilliant. And the stories were simply sublime. And I think just to use Ian Rush as an adage, our best defender was Ian Rush because you always started defending from the front. That's what I'd like Isak to do. He's your first line of defence. So he makes it easier for your midfield and your back four to get set. So I just want a solid performance from Murmadashvili to Isak tomorrow, and 2-0, 3 points. Everybody can rest easy and look forward to picking up the next 3 points in the next game, because looking at the schedule, it's brutal again. But let's take it one game at a time. Let's get this one out the way. Because if you look at who we've played, Eri and Toby, we've played 6 of the top 8 already.
We have that. So
it's been
but we're not the only one who's played tough games. But yeah, we have had them. But Toby, what do you think? Would you take a 1-0 and a solid performance, or a 5-0 fluke game where everything just happens to go in, and we have still a lot of questions of when this is going to turn around?
So as much as I love winning 7-0 against Manchester United, I'm gonna go with like a gritty 1-2-0 win against them. And here's why. As great as, like I said, as great as it is blowing out your rivals, right? It's the hope that kills. So I want Manchester United and their fans to believe that, oh, we have a chance. We're going toe to toe with one of the best teams in the league, and then out of nowhere, a goal from Isak, and then a goal from Mohamed Salah, and just break the hearts of millions of Manchester United fans across the world. It's just maybe I'm brutal, maybe I'm cruel, but those are the best type of wins.
I think that signal will be I think that because United fans still talk about the Arsenal game where they played well but lost 1-0. I think if we're going to destroy all United fans, I think maybe the way to do it is to kind of batter them in performance, and they should leave Anfield with a feeling they were got lucky as hell when they just lost 1-0 or 2-0. That I think that could be um, yeah, I think that could be a good way to go as well. I think for me, of course, I want to win as well tomorrow. But for me, the most important thing is that we show progress, we show evolution. We have learned something in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it gives me the hope for the future because I need it. I'm a little bit more gloom than Craig is. I'm I'm a little bit more scared because
But I think you've got the other side of the coin as well. Let's say, for example, let's say we score within the first 10 minutes of the game tomorrow. You could end up with a bloodbath again.
Of course we can.
It could be 4 or 5 or 6 if we score early.
I think that would be very important for the team because if we come back from the internationals with an early goal, that it will give them a confidence.
Yeah, but it's like the captain said. I've watched the interview with him this morning. He was speaking for the entire squad and the whole club. He said, we know what's happening in the outside world. We know what's being said on social media and everything else. So, but the outside noise we don't listen to. All we're concentrating on is doing what we're good at and getting back to what we're good at and winning football games. And they're all quite calm about it, to be honest with you. And they're all looking forward to tomorrow. They can't wait. They're all buzzing. And that's what you want. So, I mean, Mr. Kirk has put a post on his social that everybody's come back. They're all fired up. They're raring to go. We can't wait for Sunday. So they all feel the same way. So that's a good thing. And if you can't get up for Man United, you shouldn't be playing for Liverpool Football Club.
Well, I agree with that. I think if you're new to anything Liverpool, please give us a like and subscribe, and give us a thumbs up and give us a follow. We would much appreciate it. I think we're going over to the final things we were supposed to talk about today, and we were sort of into it a little bit earlier, and that's Slot's statement in his press conference, where he said excuses are done, they're not valid anymore. For me, that is a clear message about what he expects from the players. That is, you're not slagging anyone off, you're not throwing anyone under the bus, but he says to himself and the team that now we don't have any excuses anymore. We can't hide behind anything. We can't hide behind a poor preseason. We can't hide behind this or injuries or that or whatever. Toby, what do you think about that statement? Do you think that was a good statement to come with? Do you think that is an indication of the demands he's putting on the players and himself in a training ground, or does it give us hope, or is it just a press conference?
Yeah. So I think this is Slot trying to motivate his players a little bit, saying, "Hey, some of us have missed our preseason, and then and stuff like that. We've been dealing with injuries and stuff like that." I just think this is him saying that, hey, there's no reason why we shouldn't be on top of the league right now. I mean, and Arsenal probably just won, but these last 3 games, we sheesh. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if y'all can hear that. That's my older brother just like going But yeah, these last 3 games that we could have won. Maybe Galatasaray might have been a different story, but we probably shouldn't have lost that game either. But we could also say we're winnable. So I just think this is Slot just telling his team, hey, look, we've won games, but we've also lost games, right? In these last 3 games, we could have last two Premier League games we could have won or could have gotten a draw. Even if we haven't played our best games, we could have gotten a result out of it. That's what I'm trying to get at. And so from this point forward, we shouldn't. What am I trying to get at here? From this point forward, no more losing games at the last minute. Let's put it that way. So
Yeah. What about you, Craig? Do you think? I mean, when it was so clear in the press conference when he said these things, we
Yeah.
have no excuses anymore.
Yeah.
If we don't show any kind of improvements in the game tomorrow, that's going to go back to haunt him tomorrow as well.
Well, I was quite happy because I watched the press conference and I was quite happy with how he came across because
Me too.
basically what he was saying was he was angry. His tone of his voice was different. He was angry. He was annoyed with the last three games. And basically what he was saying in a nice way was, for me, enough is enough. That's it now. You've no more excuses. If you don't perform, it's on you and you will be dropped, regardless of who you are or where you play. I just think he's drawn the battle lines now, and he said, right, now's the time that you throw the goal. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. You pick it up and you run with it. We're champions for a reason. Go out and show me.
You think that gauntlet is thrown down for Salah as well?
I think it's been thrown down to the entire squad.
Even Salah?
Yeah, because right, look at it this way. This is, and I'm speaking from 50 years of experience watching Liverpool now. For me, Salah, he's going to go down as probably one of the greatest footballers this club's ever had. But that doesn't mean that you're not too good to be dropped. If you're not performing and you're not putting the shift in, and basically he is a weak link because he's not tracking back, then okay, give him a kick up the arse and bench him.
But is he not tracking back because he's told
Right.
not to?
Why do you think Conor Bradley got booked in the last? Conor Bradley's been booked 5 times in 8 games, and he's only played 90 minutes once. Why do you think that is? Because Salah's not tracking back.
Nobody's never tracked back.
Right. Let me give you another example then. I'm going back a little bit now, but I said this last night. The best, somebody I put it on the chat. The best right back we have ever had in our club's history, the best right back we have ever had was Phil Neal.
No.
Right? Seriously, was Phil Neal. Right? Now, Phil Neal was an attacking right back, like Frimpong is. The only difference is when Phil Neal attacked, when he went forward, Samuel Lee, who used to play on midfield on the right flank, Samuel Lee had dropped back and cover. Now that's what Mo Salah should be doing if Conor Bradley's attacking, but Mo Salah doesn't do that. That's what's leaving us wide open on the right hand flank, right? So Salah has got to be told, you might not like it, you might not want to do it, but for the good of the team, right? And if Conor Bradley's going past you, you drop back. Isak's got to do the same thing, but they won't because it's not in their DNA, right? I know you don't agree with what I've said about Phil Neal, but let me put it this way. He's the most decorated footballer that club's got. Nobody comes close to him. Nobody. He didn't get the credit he should have got, Phil Neal. He's the best penalty taker I've ever seen. He missed two in his career. One for England against Wales and one for Liverpool against Brighton. Now, apart from Gareth Bale, he's the only footballer to win the European Cup 4 times. Right? Nobody comes close. Now, we've all got our favourites. For me, Zico, as they used to call him, he's the best right back I've seen. Bettel Trent, because the thing is, Phil Neal could defend and Trent couldn't.
He's never could. But Toby, do you think, based on like Craig said, Slot looked angry. He's kind of enough's enough. He's saying to everybody, that's not enough. We can't hide anymore. Let's do a show. Do you think he will have the guts to drop anyone like Salah? if it needs to be.
I don't know about Salah, but we've seen him do it before with Drew Kwanzaa, and we thought last season. So I think I don't know if I'm not going to single out a particular player, but I will say that it wouldn't surprise me if he does because we've already seen him do it. Because like he wants to win, right? Hey, if you're not winning your duels, you're costing us. Like it's the little things that matter. It's the
Yeah,
little things that matter. Like the
and
aerial duels or just win your duels. Yeah, exactly. Even like getting shots off, not taking wild shots, right? It's just the little things that matter. If you're not performing to expectation, sorry, you're going to sit on the bench for a little bit. So,
the one thing I will say, Arnie Slot's more ruthless than what Jurgen Klopp was.
But that's not a comparison at all. That's I agree with you on that. Slot is more ruthless, and that's a good thing in my opinion. But we have to also see one thing is Salah is not performing, but we have to see the difference between the right side and the left side. The guys on the left side, left wing, have more help, more overlaps, more help around them to create something. Salah is always left alone
Mm.
because the right backs we've had, especially the one that went to Real Madrid, he was never on overlap. He was never on the marking on the side. He was always playing Pirlo in the middle, and it pissed me off. So I think Salah would be better if he also got some help on the right wing. Bradley, I don't remember which game it was, but Bradley came around on an overlap once, and that's when we scored from that side. So why don't we do the same thing on the right side as we do on the left side? I don't understand it.
Can I put a question to you both then regarding the right back situation? Then, with do you two, as we stand at this moment in time, do you two think we're missing Trent at all?
No.
I think we're missing his passing, but I don't think we're missing his defending.
I
But
I
we
agree.
mean, hey,
can't miss anything we never had.
yeah, like I said it last week. Like, I think it's so underrated that we don't look at the fact that we can build from the back, right? From the back four, being able to pass the ball, bypass the midfield. I think that is very important, and that I believe is one of the reasons why we've conceded so many goals this season. Is just
Yeah.
being able these counterattacks. Like I don't miss his defending. I do not. That was oh my gosh, it was atrocious. Those long balls to Mo Salah or even to the front three, I think we're missing that.
There's another thing while you were talking there, Toby. There's another thing just popped into my head. Do you not? Do you two both think that? Because I've looked at the stats and it's this concerns me a little bit. We're spending too much time messing about with the ball at the back. Do you agree on that? Passing it.
I think we. I don't think we're messing around too much, because I think it takes a lot of time because we don't have the movement up front. We're missing the connections, so it looks like we're just doodling around.
This is a serious question now regarding the game tomorrow. And I've given this some serious thought today. I've got a weird feeling that at the moment, I don't think Arnie Slot knows what his best 11 is.
Yeah, I agree, Craig, because I think that I was hearing it on the Walk On podcast last week or this week, or this week, and I think it was James Pierce, Simon, I can't remember who the one of them was mentioning how this is the first time where like Slot doesn't have a set starting 11. Like we have so many options that not even he knows who he wants to start. And I think I've mentioned it a couple times at right back that he has multiple options there. We don't even we don't know who's going to start right back, and you could make an argument at left wing too that we don't even know who's going to start left wing because you have Ekatike, you have Gakpo. I know Wirtz didn't play well there against Crystal Palace, but he can play there. And not to mention you do have two strikers as well. So this is the first time where Slot has a lot of options, and it's just a matter of who is the best starting 11 for him this season that can propel us to winning the Premier League title, even the Champions League title.
I think he has an indication of who his best 11 is, but he's struggling more because of uh, uh, players not had a preseason, a couple of guys coming back from minor injuries. So the performance overall in many of those who he can kind of consider as his first starting 11 have been poor. That means he's kind of more in the dark, I think. But as I posted here, Jimmy Hotspur said, "How can Stott drop Salah when he's told he don't need to defend?" And I think that's kind of a valid point because you said earlier, Craig, that Isaac is the first defender,
Yeah,
and I think when we have that first defender, like we had in Bobby Firmino as well, if we have that one from the top that can go back and defend, that makes it easier for someone like Salah to stay up and do the counter. Do
yeah,
you agree with that?
yeah. But the thing is, I still think Salah Salah's not writing himself upstairs. He's still missing his mate for me. But hopefully, I think tomorrow he's just got to say, right, I know he scored for Egypt. He scored a couple of goals in midweek. So his confidence should be back. And he looked happy this afternoon in training. So hopefully tomorrow he'll turn up tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock and got up Man United, because I just think it's I think certain players in the squad, they need just that one moment, and Isak and Salah have two of them, and Verts is another. They just need that one moment where that's it, and everything just falls into place. At the moment, and his thoughts just shuffling things a bit. I just think he needs to go back to basics, use his trusted midfield, and just say, right, lads, you know the score now. No more excuses. We've got a game to win now. Let's concentrate. Let's get the job done, and then we'll deal with what comes next. But yeah, I mean, everybody's writing Liverpool off now, and there's nothing worse than. I mean, is this a good time to go to Anfield? Really, I don't think it is. Not off the back of two defeats. There's no good time to go to Anfield, really. But he shouldn't need to give a team talk tomorrow for me. The opposition says it all. There's your team talk. Who are you playing?
Well, last time we were written off, that was last year, and we won the Premier League.
Mm.
So, before we finish off today, I just want to talk about one transfer that keeps popping up, and that's Gehi now, who's has been confirmed is not going to sign a new contract. We kind of always knew that. It hasn't been a really big secret, but it's been confirmed by the coach and the club and everybody else. Toby, do you think we are still in the race for him? Do you think he's? I think. Do you think he's our number one choice? Do you think he thinks we are his number one choice, or do you think he now will, look at his option more than what was the case a few months ago?
Yeah, so first I want to say thank you, Oliver Glasner, for preventing us not getting Mark Gahey. Total sarcasm there. I'm being passive aggressive. But I still think for us, we are still his number one choice. But for Gahey, are we his number one choice? Because like I've mentioned it a lot these last few weeks. I really wanted to get Gahey because we know a certain somebody is well, I shouldn't even say a certain somebody. Kanate, he's on the last year of his contract, and we have been struggling to re-sign him. I really wanted to bring in that replacement, so we have that replacement, so we're not worried about this going into the summer. Um, but another reason why I wanted to get Gahey was because there is no guarantee that we're going to sign him this summer. There just isn't. Um, Now that we have some teams lined up, I believe like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, et cetera, et cetera. So my question is, are we still his number one choice? I will say that it is interesting that we keep hearing Nico Schlotterbeck name keep popping up with Liverpool. Like this has been a name that's been consistent in the last week. And at first I thought, oh, this is just another name that's being thrown out there or whatever. But this has been something that's not going away. So for everyone who's watching, keep an eye out on Schlotterbeck because I wonder. This kind of confirms to me whether or not we're Gahey's first choice. That Schlotterbeck, his name just keeps popping up. Maybe we know something that that the team knows something that the fans don't. So this is why we keep hearing Schlotterbeck.
Uh, I usually don't. I don't. Well, the history of the last few years is when we have decided to get a player, we usually go for that player as long as it is an option. I think maybe the reason why so many names come up is because there is no certainty, especially when it came to Gahey's future. Craig, what do you think? Do you think he still would like to come to us, or do you think he now looks as more attempting offers, try something new and all that, or if we go for him, do you think we will wait till summer, or do you think now that we got Leone injured that we will do a push for him this January window, even though you said we shouldn't?
Liverpool could be forced into making a move for him in January, but I don't think we will. I honestly believe that he is our first choice, and where he is, simply because the contract was signed, everything was done, except the owner, Steve Parrish, and the manager, Mr. Glasner, pulled the plug. Right? Now, apart from those two things, Mark Gay would have been a Liverpool player by now. So if those two things hadn't have happened, and they did, why would he change his mind and not want to come to Liverpool now? I mean, yeah, I have seen the things on Slotterbeck, and I do watch him a lot, and he is class. And Liverpool have had initial talks with him already. So all Liverpool are doing is basically, if this one doesn't come off with Gay, they've got another option straight away, which makes sense. You don't want to leave yourself short, not in that position. But no, I can still see Mark Gay wearing that red shirt, because I honestly believe Canati is going to go to Madrid in the summer, and I don't think Gay will leave Crystal Palace until the summer. I don't think Palace will let him leave until the end of the season. So he'll leave on a free and he'll come to Liverpool.
But we need someone because we are, now that Leone is out, we are short in a centre back. We need someone.
We are, but so let's look at it this way then. So I mean, we've been touted with three players now. This, because it's the international break, the transfers have come out again. So the three players we've been linked with: Slotterbeck, Elise, and Semenyo from Bournemouth. Right now, I think this change in Liverpool as a squad is a 3-part plan. We're moving into part 2, and I think Semenyo will come in the summer. I think Liverpool will sign him. A lot won't agree with it, and a lot won't agree with the fee. I'm not really bothered. I'm not paying it. But I think Liverpool will sign him. And I don't think that's any detriment to Rio and Gamora either. And we do need a centre back, so it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool signed Mark Gay and also signed Slotterbeck. It wouldn't surprise me at all, because you need strength in depth. And I mean, you can go back 2 or 3 years. Look what happened when Virgil got injured. Look how long he was out for with his ACL when Little Arms did him at Goodison. So we don't want to go down that road again. So I think Liverpool, they've done their own work already. Like you said, when we want a player, we sign him. They've already done the due diligence on Mark Gay. All the data's there. So, and they've had discussions. And if you was to ask him face to face, I reckon that when that transfer broke down on that day, because the club, he was with the club, I reckon they turned around to him and said, "We can see your disappointment, and we feel exactly the same. Don't worry, because we're coming back for you, be it January or the summer. Either way, you will be a Liverpool player." and that's why he's not saying anything at all. He's just, if you watch it, if you listen to him, he's just straight batting everything.
How do you think, Toby? Do you think we will get Gehi? Do you think he will come in the summer or in January? Or do you think, as Craig mentioned, that we go for both? Because I think we could use two centre backs if Konata leaves in the summer. So 1, 2, and when do you think they will come?
Oh man. So it wouldn't surprise. So I'm sorry, that was mind-boggling. But yeah, what Craig says makes sense, and Harry, what you said makes sense too. I guess I'm seeing it from an angle of like I'm seeing all these teams lining up for Gahey, and it puts a fear in me that hey, are we still his number one choice? But y'all are absolutely right. We were almost there to bring in Gahey at the summer transfer window. Just unfortunately things fell apart. Thanks, Mr. Oliver Glasner and Mr. Parrish, but I digress. Um, as far as like bringing center backs go, I haven't even thought about like bringing both Schlotterbeck and Gahey. Cause I'm thinking, well, we still have Leone as well, but you know, if Konate, if and when Konate leaves, we're still gonna have, let's see, Van Dyke. Hypothetically, let's say we bring in Gahey, Leone, and Gomez. So yeah, I wouldn't
But
mind. Yeah,
Cinderella's not,
yeah,
Cinderella's not going to play a Theo Gomez. Come on, he's
yeah. I
trying.
know, but I'm thinking of depth. I'm thinking depth here, and you can always just swipe away that question by saying, "Hey, we also have Gomez." And technically, I mean, I
We
rather
don't
not go
have
down.
Gomez.
We
He plays
don't.
4 games a year.
I know, but still, you. If we want to give the political answer, we'll say, "Oh yeah, we still have depth. We still have Gomez," and I don't personally agree with, don't like this option, but we also have Endo and Gravenberg. But I wouldn't shoot.
But
Yeah, like,
Gomez is
hmm?
like Adam Sandler. He's the water boy.
I hate to agree with that, but it's true. But hey, Gomez is our guy, right? Kind of like Darwin Nunez. I know Nunez missed a lot of goals, but damn it, that guy played with such a passion. And I do think we miss Nunez's passion on the pitch and his fire. But damn it, that dude was our guy. Um, yeah, I could totally.
I have nothing against Gomez, to be honest, but he's made of wet grass, so he's Uh, a little Jimmy here says he will go to Real on free in the summer. That's the new strategy.
They can't sign him. They've already got the quota.
Yeah, I don't think Gay will go to Real Madrid, and if he goes there, they will have no need for Konate, so he will then resign. So
They've already got their own grown quota, so they can't sign him. And,
sorry,
and Barcelona can't afford him.
No, they can't.
Nobody. This was Real Madrid.
So he's not going to go to Real Madrid because they've already got the quota. If you don't,
Yeah.
That's the stat man, Stephen.
Well, I think that's the topics we had for today, guys. I will like to thank Toby and Craig for joining me today.
Been a
I
pleasure.
will also like that tell everybody at home, if you like what you see and you're new to anything Liverpool, please give us a like and follow and do a subscription so you don't miss any new streams or videos we post. Again, Toby, Craig, thank you for joining me today, and everybody have a good game tomorrow and good night.
Good night.
Right.